Yo. Okay. I know, right? That's life, bro. I'm leaving though, but this is crazy, and I just can't see. I saw it. Well, I'm not excited about this, and I just can't see. Oh, baby, baby, how was I supposed to know? We ain't gonna have no notifications. We're gonna be done with notifications. Ooh, is somebody in there? Is what I want to know is there somebody in there hanging from that, or are they out of there? Driver trapped. Oh my god, this is driver trapped. Are they still trapped inside? Oh my god. Did they get him out? Oh no, it says driver rescued. Driver rescued. Oh, he was rescued. Driver rescued from semi truck. Okay, okay, he was rescued. Wow. I'll be back. I think the driver was rescued. I'll be back. Oh, oh. Are they actually pulling the truck up? Is it worth trying to pull that truck up? So what are they using? It looks like a truck. I mean, is it because of the money? Because they got the driver out, right? I would have said let that shit fall in because what if that truck? What happens if the truck pulls the other truck? Damn, that's gotta take an immense amount of power, or is it just holding it in place? What happened? How did this even begin? Hey, BL. Okay, check this score. Okay, the video shows the driver rescue. Let's check it out.
And welcome back to this U.S. Open office plan.
Miller just live are live of the situation on the Clark Memorial Bridge. This truck is hanging off the side of the bridge, and you can see right now a rescue operation is underway. Louisville Fire Department. It looks as though they have another person with that firefighter who is currently dangling right now attached to a ladder truck that is stationed on the bridge. We've been monitoring this situation really ever since we came on the air here live at noon. We were told at one point that there was a possibility of a driver still being in the cab of that truck. Since that time, we have seen a rescue operation taking place where firefighters have been trying to get a person out, and now you can see they are raising that person up over the ledge towards the bridge itself. Now, again, we want to stress these are live images we are showing you. We had delayed showing you live images early while the scene continued to play out.
It's a woman driving. That makes sense now. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
The 2nd Street Bridge, as of right now, we know is completely shut down in both directions. LMPD saying that it will be shut down for a period of time. Now we are watching the dramatic scenes right now. Again, a lot of this was what we saw at the beginning of the 12 o'clock newscast. We had word of a semi-truck that had fallen or come off the Clark Memorial Bridge, was hanging off, and we've been monitoring it ever since. Again, LFD now on the bridge undergoing a rescue operation as they're trying to get that driver to safety who had been hanging off in the cab of that truck. Now we are, again, live pictures at this point. You can see firefighters continuing to raise them up. This shot, I will tell you, is coming up from underneath the bridge. We have another camera here in studio that is looking at it more from an above angle. And so while it looks like they have cleared the railing of that bridge, it is not the case as of yet. They are still trying to get high enough to get to safety and eventually bring that driver and the firefighter back onto the bridge. This very dramatic scene, just making sure you can.
The rage drivers are a lot of the crazy guys. The rage ones, the ones that are shooting and killing people.
For a while, just taking a quick pause there to try to allow the gravity of the situation to kind of set in. This, again, very active scene. We are now continuing to get a look from our camera down there underneath the Clark Memorial Bridge. It looks like they're moving, so we're going to take the shot now from one of our traffic cams. You can see what I was telling you earlier. When you look at the above angle, they are still not quite above the Clark Memorial Bridge yet. They are trying to get everybody to safety. LFD have a ladder truck out there. This is the apparatus they have been using for the last, let's say, 10-15 minutes to try to get a driver or a firefighter down there to get the driver out of this truck. Again, I want to stress to you, what you are watching right now are live images of the Clark Memorial Bridge as a rescue operation is underway. This, a scene that a terrifying scene when you take a wide look at it and see just how close this truck was to something absolutely catastrophic. I want to welcome Brooke Hash out to the desk with me, joining right now. Brooke, this is something we've been watching for really since the noon kicked off. This is a developing situation, and this really the pinnacle of what we've been watching right now.
Yeah, I'm still kind of shaken because all of us are in the newsroom. Everything else is just kind of stopped. It's been in a standstill because, I mean, you're taking a look at this video.
Yeah.
And what we heard was possibly a woman a female who was the driver in this truck. This is a Cisco truck, as you saw. We don't know how much food, what is in that, but you can just imagine being that driver, and for the last hour. Yeah,
better part of an hour at this point, just
has been just staring down at the Ohio. So what a magnificent, you're still seeing this as we speak, still hanging on. But
and what we've noticed here in the last few minutes is the ladder truck seems to be retracting, pulling them back towards the bridge. So it appears that they're high enough at this point. Now it's just a matter of getting themselves back to the bridge itself. And you can see the mob of firefighters standing on the edge there, waiting for them to get close enough to try to pull both of those, the firefighter and that driver, to safety.
Right. I can't imagine the type of phone call that was being had in the cab of that truck. Just knowing, we have no idea how the trailer.
Yes.
If it's just within inches of slipping.
Yep.
If they've been able to anchor that somehow just to make sure that it didn't move.
As you mentioned, this is a Cisco truck. We don't know how much food may have been on it. The balance and the weight distribution in that truck is something that these firefighters would have had to take into immediate account while they were trying to create this rescue operation. Again, dramatic scenes continuing to play out. We do know that one of our reporters, Jose Alonso, is on scene right now near the 2nd Street Bridge. I want to go ahead and get to Jose and see exactly what he is seeing at this point. Jose, if you can hear me, describe to me a little bit about what the scene is like from your end. It looks like, did they get them off the bridge? Is that what we're seeing right now? It looks like they may have gotten that firefighter and that driver clearing the bridge at this point, and it looks like they've been able to get them just about to safety. So Jose, let's go ahead and go to you. What is your vantage point?
Hey there, yeah, what we're seeing right now, there's a whole scene. I'm actually at the Belle of Louisville, right off the river, and from what we could see from our cameras, from the zoom, is that it looks like they did rescue that driver. Of course, we're waiting for officials to confirm that, but we did see somebody come down the line and take the driver out.
Okay, so the people are, the driver's rescued. Oh, whoa, we missed the truck? Oh, okay. I'm looking for a second, the truck was already out of the... How are they going to pull that truck out? Or are they going to just let it fall? Sometimes, man, the driver's out. I say let the truck fall. I don't know if it's more dangerous. Can they even pull that thing out, or is it a wrap? Let me see something. Hold on. Oh, this is another angle. That's what it is. Okay. Wow. Mamma mia. They can't pull that thing out, right? If it falls, fuel and other fluids could cause a major problem. That's true, but isn't that shit already in there? They got in the water we drink, they already got fuel and prescription medication and all kinds of toxic whatever that we're drinking. I was just thinking, like, if they try to pull it out, though, I'm just thinking about, like, the safety of the other people. Is it worth dying or trying to get this truck out of there? Just save the environment. Yes, they can smell it is. The workout days. It was a press conference? Oh, the presser. Okay, let's see.
Okay, I'll try not to stare into too many cameras. We can go ahead and get started. Just to give you some basic facts about what happened, we got the call at 12:03 that there was a motor vehicle accident on the bridge. Our crews responded, arrived at 12:06, so a 3-minute response time. They did find a pretty serious wreck that included 2 vehicles plus the semi. 2 vehicles were in pretty bad shape. The semi had actually was dangling off of the edge of the 2nd Street Bridge. There was 1 patient that was transported immediately from one of the other vehicles
Boop
that
the tap.
got down to
Boop
the hospital.
the
We immediately set up for technical rescue because the driver of the semi was still inside the cab. She was talking to us. We were able to communicate with her, obviously shaken up, but she seemed to be stable. Took our crews approximately 40 minutes to set up a rope system, put somebody over the edge, rappel down to her, hook her up with a similar safety harness, and get her back out and to safety. And then she was transported just as a precautionary measure to the local hospital. All the credit goes to these folks right here. A couple of our other crews that were present have had to return to service, make sure they're taking care of the city. But this is our rescue company here, Truck 1, Engine 2, as well as Truck 2 down here at Floyd and Jeff that handled this technical rescue. They train for this type of stuff all the time. And I know.
And I wonder what these guys, they're rapping. So they're really going to pull this thing out. I mean, maybe it is an environmental thing like people are saying. They really it was me. I just let it go. Fuck it. Sometimes, pick and choose. They always say pick and choose your battles. Everybody's alive. Fuck it. But these people are experts, so maybe they probably have a. I'm sure they're not used to this type of scenario, but I'm sure I guess they have a procedure. They got the truck locked in.
I know that a lot of you got footage of it that went out, and you saw that these were some serious heroes here. This was some really professional, well-practiced, well-trained stuff. They got right out there, got right to her. Firefighter Bryce Carden was the one in the harness, got down to her. I'll go ahead and joke on him a little bit because this is probably one of the nicest, happiest guys that you'll ever want to meet in your life, and he is the exact right person to put down there to try to keep that patient calm and very cool and collected, to understand that she's in safe hands so that she doesn't panic, and to know that you've got trained professionals helping out, and they were able to get her back up here to safety. I'll take any questions that you folks have.
Was she the only person in the cab?
So she was the only person in the cab of the semi. As I mentioned, there were other vehicles involved in the accident. There was one other patient transported.
This is going to be a pretty specific kind of rescue. Is that something you train on because you have the bridges here?
It's not just the bridges, it's also the high rises. It's something called a pick-off, where you're going in to try to get somebody off of something else to then secure them and take them up. So yeah, they train for this type of stuff. This is very much a worst case scenario, kind of a crazy thing that you don't expect to actually have to do until you show up and you see it and you're like, oh my gosh, this is actually what we've talked about, and here we're ready for it.
Was it just those two vehicles?
How unique? This is a once in a career type of thing, unless somebody here has done this many times. No, this is extremely unique.
Was it just those two vehicles involved for the person who was transported and the woman in the cab? Or
there were 3 vehicles total, 3 vehicles, but one person in the other vehicle that was not injured.
What if the trailer's loaded with 1,000 gallons of cooking oil? Yeah, that's true, I guess.
Yeah. One person transported from another vehicle and the semi.
That is a food truck, I guess, right? I think the broadcast mentioned it. It's a Cisco truck.
Can you talk to the hero?
I'm sorry?
Can you talk to the one hero of the all of them that got it?
If you have some questions about technical rescue, we can get one of the captains.
If you had one hero, can you pick one person? Forget everybody else. We just need one person. Can you pick one hero out of everybody that risked their lives?
Into specifics, thing to remember that this is absolutely a team effort that everybody did.
No, we need you to pick one person.
That I don't know. That's turned over now to LMPD to handle the accident. That semi is still hanging over the edge.
Do you think the semi driver is getting fired? I don't know. I don't know if it's their fault or not. It seems like there was maybe multiple cars, I guess.
Right now, so they're going to have to clear that. LMPD and EMS were also on scene with us, doing an incredible job. The Kentucky Transportation Cabinet will also be inspecting that to make sure what kind of stability of the bridge and what kind of...
Bro, can you believe that this Fannie Willis shit is still
was
going?
A kiss on the cheek, things of that nature.
We should have been covering this.
To frame her testimony from that standpoint when you're addressing her credibility, as the court is going to do with each and every witness that you heard during the testimony.
All over again, if the appellate court say you were wrong.
So what is that personal interest?
So the personal interest can be.
We should have been covering that. The drama with that.
Shape it's in.
Have you ever trained on a bridge before like this?
Absolutely. We train on bridges. We train on high rises. We train on cliff sides.
Do you see more traffic?
Braking or shifting up there while...
Absolutely, that's a serious concern. So the way that semi truck actually was dangling off the edge, it was essentially pinched onto the concrete, as well as one of the bridge abutments that was holding it in place. So we're very concerned with the stabilization there to make sure that our people are safe. Obviously, we are willing to risk a lot to save a lot. And so, yes, we will absolutely take that risk to get her out. But it was a constant concern that that truck could shift at any moment.
How lucky was it that
I heard that the Rust trial was kind of boring, but now they're saying that it picked up. I heard that like the ballistic portion of that was kind of boring, but it's picked up now.
the part that she was in, the actual part of the truck, didn't fall in the river and detached from the trailer?
It's extremely lucky. Not so much that it would detach from the trailer, but just that the entire truck didn't go into the river. The way, the position that's in, some of your drone footage will show that better than what we can see from here.
That's like out of a movie. I can't imagine how the driver feels. Man.
It's tremendously lucky that it didn't go over.
How did you make the decision who was going to go over the side to get her? Was that somebody that you have designated to do that?
We assign that every day. There's always somebody there ready to respond. So.
Have you all seen more traffic on this bridge at all because it is untold, or do you know if that has anything to do with?
That would be a question for the Transportation Cabinet or for LMPD. We just call whenever they ask for us.
Do we know kind of how this happened right now? I mean, did it just go over the line?
That's going to be up to the LMPD investigation. Again, that's going to be up to police and the Transportation Cabinet about how they can remove that safely.
How proud are you of your guys and your ladies today?
These men and women make me so proud. And I've got to say, when I was standing on that bridge, watching what they were doing, my phone was blowing up from anything from Frankfurt, from around the country, to people talking about that. And to hear her relief when she came up on solid ground and knowing what an amazing job they did, that motivates the heck out of me every day.
What did she say when you got her to safety?
It wasn't really intelligible at that point. She held it together amazingly. I got to tell you, it was obvious she was shaken up. Obviously that she was scared.
They're involved in marketing and distributing food products, small orders, kitchen equipment, tabletop items to restaurants, healthcare. Yeah.
Firefighter Cardin did an amazing job of keeping her calm. She held it together like a champ. But I will say the second she hit solid ground, she was able to let those emotions go and just have that relief. And it's a pretty impressive thing.
Is she thanking you profusely?
No driving points lost.
Ours goes up to the shore on the opposite side. The
Man.
river and the bridge, those are ours. That's all Kentucky. So until you get to the opposite shore, that's still Kentucky. That's still Louisville Fire.
I know you gave us a timeline for when you all first responded. Do you know approximately how long she was dangling over the side like that?
Approximately 45 to 50 minutes.
Damn, that's a long time to hang.
Was she thanking you all profusely? I mean, how that
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, she was.
Mimi Moody, thank you for the super chat. Says, the 13-year-old in Florida is that, yeah, I covered it earlier before I left to go pick up the baby. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think there's something really weird about that. Not just the guy. I think there's just something that's kind of sus. But I want to hold back. Oh, I didn't see the super chat somebody sent me. I'm trying to hold back and hold a little bit. But just my gut speculative instinct last night, I was like, Mom seems a little weird. I don't know. Just even the timeline now when the cops are giving that press conference, it just seems, I don't know.
Was just obviously very nervous, wanted to get out of there, but very thankful and just very grateful and relieved to be back on solid ground.
Did she remain calm while she was in the
I did not hear anything about where she's from, but
Did she remain calm, and how important is that for her to be calm?
it's very important. She remained very calm. Like I said, she was a champ. She was
Yeah, I can imagine just hanging out of this truck and people coming to rescue you, and then you're gliding in the air, like hanging on a rope or whatever. That's just, I'm sure she's going to be on TV after, probably do an interview.
very
That's
brave
wild.
woman. Not only that, here she is dangling over the edge.
Just check it out,
we're
Moody.
trying to get to her, but she not only remained calm, but you have to think about when they hook her up and get her into that harness, and firefighter Cardin is helping to hold on to her, and she's got the harness, got the ropes. But if you have a person kind of panic, I'm sure most of us have heard about that when we learn about swimming and lifeguarding, that the victim being very panicky can be danger, but she was a champ.
I did see some swing. Was the wind and the weather today any factor that you wanted to talk about?
Some of the swing too, you have to think, what they used as a high point was one of our aerial devices off of one of our trucks. So that's on a hydraulic ladder that's extended out.
Yeah, the panicking thing is a big deal. I've watched a lot of these like diver videos. I don't think I would ever do that myself, like scuba diving, like the diving gear, like having to. And I don't think I could do it. But there was this lady. Let me show this video. She started freaking out, and they almost say that like assisting these people could put you in danger. It could literally get you killed because sometimes they freak out. They'll grab your, I don't know if it's called respirator, your breathing thing. They'll grab that shit. They'll just like freak out. This one right here, she's freaking out. Thing's not even in her mouth anymore. She's freaking out. He's trying to help her. He's trying to get her in her mouth. She won't even accept it because she's freaking out, and he's trying to put it back in her mouth. Oh my God. Oh my God. And sometimes rising up that quickly too can cause some damage. It's not good for you either. Depending how deep you are. Bruh. I couldn't do this. This is not for me. I couldn't do this shit. Or going in the caves. I really couldn't, but it's scary. He tried. He did a good job, and he tried. And she's lucky she's alive.
Out there, and they're going to move a little bit. You know, you see, the weather is obviously always going to contribute, but we respond whether it's 0 degrees or 100 degrees.
So we understand when she got on the bridge safely in the stretcher, she made some phone calls. What was that all about?
Oh.
I'm sure she was calling loved ones. I don't know, but I'm sure that very relieved because anybody else who was watching the news might have recognized her truck, so I'm sure they were happy to hear from her.
Was she calling 911 at all herself, talking to?
That I don't know.
But was she in communication with you all before you got down there?
No, we were able to talk to her once we got to the bridge, and we were able to, we could see her, we could talk to her.
Are you able to tell us what was inside the trailer?
It was a Cisco truck. I don't know what's inside.
Was it full or empty?
That I don't know.
Who was Carvin?
Firefighter Carton, wave to the camera.
How you feeling, buddy?
Kitty, yeah.
I feel good. It all, like I was telling Chief, it all goes back to training. We've done this probably 100 times. So we have good leaders that have taught us how to take care of this type of situation. I was not nervous at all going over the edge because I knew that they had me on the top side. Once I reached her, she was super calm, collected, and helped me do what I needed to do to get her to safety, essentially. And it all worked out for the best, and we'll go back to quarters and get ready to do it again if we have to. So.
Chief, could you get a little closer to him?
Yes, it was.
Sure.
Have you ever done what? This has to be the craziest thing you've ever done so far as a firefighter.
We've definitely done crazy things, but yes, this tops it so far. Like I said, we trained for this situation probably 100 times, but to actually put it in action, it felt good. We had successful rescue. Now we go back and we do it again if we have to.
What did she say when you got to her?
She was just praying. She was praying a lot, so and I prayed with her, so it was good.
I'd like to point out that these crews that responded here, these are the same folks that you saw just less than a week ago down here at the New Louisville fire. Just to show we are an all hazards response, whatever it is, just like firefighter Carden just said. When the call goes out, whatever it is, they show up and they handle it.
How do you manage an adrenaline rush like that? I still manage to stay.
At the moment, you don't really think about it. It's more so after the run.
So they did an amazing job saving that woman's life. Really did. I'm surprised this thing didn't go into the ocean. Seriously. So at this point, I guess it's just I guess they're gonna pull the truck out. I guess maybe they'll get more vehicles on there. I mean, they have 2 trucks on each side, I guess, holding it at different points. I'd be afraid if I'm in that truck if that thing just pulls me in. There was this, I used to watch a lot of, sometimes I still do, like these fatal diving accidents. This one was like super creepy. This is like an infamous story, really fucked up. This guy, Yuri Lipsky. He literally like recorded his own death. He dove without monitoring his ascension rate. He had no idea how fast he was going down. There was something else too. For non-divers, the lower you go, the less time you have before you absorb too much nitrogen through your skin, which causes you to enter into a drunken and even narcotic state. I think that's what happened to this guy. He then hit the 90 millimeter marker at the solid plateau. Yeah, he shouldn't have been in there. I thought what I read too was that like he didn't have the proper buoyancy or like the weighting or whatever. This was a messed up one. And what's the craziest thing about this is to be around so many people, but like still be by yourself. Like, that's just. And you can't talk, you can't speak, you're just. And I wonder with this too, I don't know if the current kind of caught him. He was a young guy. When you have all that heavy equipment on you, you have to have, I guess like it's called buoyancy. You have to balance you out so you can kind of like swim and float and not just sink to the bottom, you know? I know, Gaza. Yeah, Juicy. I covered that. That was wild. He's still kind of like this coral there. There's a diver there too. I don't, that sound, I don't know if that's him trying to talk or say something. But like that sound of, I was watching some divers react to it and I think they said that's him like breathing harder through that thing or whatever. But I think he's like drifting to like the deeper part. I'm telling you, I could not do this shit. Bodily sounds. But like, the coral's there. The coral's still there, but then I think he like goes further. I don't know if he's in control or his buoyancy is like. And then from there, it's just like, it's bad. This shit creeped me out when I saw this. 7.6 million views. This is a really, really messed up like story, because what happened too was that after his body was recovered, the diver that found him found the GoPro. He didn't know what he was gonna find in that GoPro, and this guy's parents, I think the mother was there, Yuri Lipsky. And so he's like, yeah, he didn't even think the GoPro was gonna work because of the depth of the water and stuff. He didn't think it was gonna work. And so he's like playing the thing, whatever, trying to figure it out, and the mother is there. And the mother literally watched this. He said he regrets that so much. He said if he knew you were gonna see his final moments, that he would have just like destroyed it. So at this point, I think he's just like falling. And now his like devices are telling him, like giving him warnings about like these. I think probably the depth, probably too deep down. So yeah, it's pretty bad. And then he's kind of like struggles, and he's just, at this point, I think they call it narcosis, nitrogen narcosis. You get confused at a certain depth or whatever. Like you're like, it's a confused, like almost drunken state. He's like just thrashing about the bottom. It's very scary. Like this is one of my most feared type of deaths, is drowning. I could not do this shit, but people do this all the time. So that's it. And then he just kind of, so the camera dropped, and he just kind of goes off on his own, and eventually he drowns, I guess. Somebody said if his parents ever see this, which this person doesn't know the story, because his mother was literally there. I want them to know that allowing them to see this video has saved a lot of people from making similar mistakes. So basically, he went in with numerous qualified dive instructors who all said you're not qualified for this. I heard that. I did hear that too, that they told him he can't do that, and he did it anyway. He ignored every single one of them and chose to go down. I did hear that too, yeah. He shouldn't have been in that water like that. He shouldn't have done that. But yeah, it's very tragic. And there's a bunch of stories like that. That's the reality of like diving. A lot of that shit goes on. See. One of the craziest stories too, I think Mr. Ballin told the story. I won't play it, but this suction thing, oh my god. Let's see. I talked about this during one of my lives.
I know very, very few people will ever get to see. I've been blessed. I've been given the opportunity to go with the gear that I'm diving with, the Kiss rebreather and so forth, and get to see things that just, I don't know. 1% of 1% of 1% of the world will ever get to see.
Yeah.
Other people, I think, Gus, you're really good at cave exploration. You have a good sense about it. You lay line very well. And I think you like the mission part of it. It seems like, right?
Yeah.
You like, and the newness of what's around that corner if I'm exploring it. No one's ever seen it.
Yeah.
Forget about 1%.
And this short and emotional Christopher Boudram recalled the events of February 25th, a day which he said he has been living every night since. Boudram went through every detail of his conversation with the divers in the pipe, but said that Rishi Nagisa did not respond and the men took the decision to come back for him. He said despite some being seriously injured, especially Kazim Ali Jr. and Yusuf Henry, they all formed a human chain to attempt to get out. Boudram said he had no idea he was the last to be sucked in and was told by the others he was heading in the wrong direction. He said with only 2 tanks remaining, the air pockets were becoming smaller and he took the decision to go get help and return.
I was always somebody who could control and see things through, and I feel like I tell her how it's coming back when I feel like.
Further up the pipe, Boudram said he encountered 2 other tanks to help him reach at a...
This is the actual video. There was like, I forgot how it works. There was like some negative pressure. That shit shouldn't have been opened because the pressure wasn't equal. I think it was like 3 or 4 of them. They get sucked into this, like all of them into this tube. And there's one survivor. And he feels guilty as shit because he survived. Not only that, I mean, they were stuck in this pipe like this, wedging their way out. Like it was so bad because there was the water levels. He had an air tank. The people that died are telling him, yo, you're going the wrong way. He went anyway. He would have been dead. He went against what everybody told him, and he survived.
At the top of the riser, where Faisal Kurban also managed to follow behind him.
Everything inside me was open and rescue was going on. Nobody was making an attempt to rescue me. You know what I mean?
The fucked up thing about this, besides not that he survived, but like he came out, they were trying to do a rescue. It seems like they left these other people for dead. Supposedly these people were, I don't know how long they were alive. They were banging on the tubes, asking for help, and the company just left them. And so they like died a slow death in the tubes. The pipes.
On reaching close to the top, he said he was eventually rescued and insisted to his rescuers that the other men were alive.
I tell him, I say, boy, them fellas in there, let's go and save them, let's go and save them. And you was like, all right, but you relax. I said, don't tell me to relax. To what? Better let me go back and save them, because like all I want to do nothing.
Mr. Boudram also refuted claims that a conversation between him and Paria took place that night.
It's alleged that there was a conversation at around 10 o'clock that night, but you have no recollection of that.
Boudram said he had no idea if he was dead or alive near the end, but regretted that more could not be done to save the others. Sonolala, TTT News.
Wild. Not now, but look at the Byron Dolphin incident. I think that's the incident that I'm talking about. It's the same one. That's the survivor. Oh, no. That one you're talking about is different. Oh, that one was messed. That was worse. I did watch that video. There was actually a PDF with very descriptive details about what happened, and even a picture in black and white. I don't know if you've seen that PDF. It's on Reddit. It's very, very graphic. Messed up too. What happened there? They get paid those pipe jobs, or whatever. The people out in the middle of the sea and like doing all that. That's a really dangerous job. I was trying to find the video of the pipe thing. Oh, here it is.
Today's story is going to be physically.
right when they got sucked in. As soon as he opens the hatch, like, you don't even have time to react. It's just boom. They all got sucked in.
So that's going to do it. If you got something out of today's video and you haven't
Crazy.
suffocation because they ran out of air in the pipe, or they died from one of their injuries, or they attempted to do one of those long underwater sections of pipe on a breath hold because they didn't have scuba tanks and they drowned. On February 28th, 3 of the divers' bodies were recovered, and the final body, the 4th diver, was recovered on March 3rd. It's unclear why Christopher and the other divers did not do something to equalize the pressure inside of the habitat and inside of this pipe before undoing the plug, because this vacuum effect, which is known as delta P, is actually easy to anticipate and relatively easy to prevent. But the investigation into exactly what happened and who is to blame is still ongoing. However, the only survivor, Christopher, and many other people who are following this case, they believe the 4 deaths are directly attributable to Perea Fuel, who were primarily responsible for not allowing a rescue operation to happen in those first 2 days, where you could clearly hear the sounds of these divers banging on the pipe.
Bro, how crazy is that? Right? Just waiting for help. That's what I heard, banging on the pipes. And allegedly, this fuel company is like, I don't know. They said it was too dangerous, so they just let him die. Yeah. It's creepy. I after that submarine story, the Ocean Gate, I started like watching all these divers and like all these weird incidents with divers and cave divers and previous submarines and military submarines and like all these weird stories. Yeah, he's really good, Ballin, Mr. Ballin. All right, I think I'm going to end the live because the diver is saved and there's nobody else in the vehicle. I don't know if they're going to try to pull this truck out. I'm going to end the live for now, but we have a live stream for 6:30 p.m. So I'm going to chill for now. Maybe I'll redirect over there. Redirect 6:30. Yeah, our US subs don't even go that far down. Yeah. What channel? This is Fox 9 Minneapolis. I'll put the link in the chat. All right, guys. Please post. Oh, yes. I will do that. I will do that, Bill. Thank you. All right, guys. See you later. Take care. Peace. Bye. Bloop, 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 bloop.